Captain Taiwan Kim stood frozen on the bridge of the UES Dauntless. His eyes were fixed on the main screen. The alien face looking back at him was not what humans had hoped to meet among the stars. "People of Earth," the translator rendered in flat tones. "We are the HFY. Your planet is now under our control." The alien had 6 eyes arranged in a circle. Its mouth parts clicked as it spoke in its native tongue. Its exoskeleton gleamed under the lights of what must be their command ship. "Sir," whispered Commander Jisoo Park from beside him, "are we sure this isn't some kind of hoax?" Taiwan wished it was. The massive ships that had appeared in Earth's orbit 12 hours ago were very real. So were the smaller craft now hovering over every major city on the planet. "The HFY Empire requires your immediate surrender," the alien continued. "You have 72 hours to comply." The screen changed to show a demonstration. A line of what appeared to be alien prisoners stood against a wall. Each was from a different species. None were human. 6 HFY soldiers stepped into view. Each held a strange, sleek weapon. "Behold our war Pummas," the narrator said, "the pinnacle of weapons technology." The soldiers activated their weapons. Beams of blue light extended from each device, forming thin, glowing blades. With movements so fast they could barely be seen, the soldiers struck. Each blade passed through the prisoners with surgical precision. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, the prisoners collapsed in pieces. The cuts were so clean that there was almost no blood. "As you can see, resistance is futile. Our war Pummas can slice through any material you possess." Commander Jisoo turned away from the screen. Her face was pale but determined. "They're showing us this to make us afraid, sir." Taiwan nodded. "I know." "Transmission incoming from Earth Defense Command," announced Communications Officer Junho. "Put it through," Taiwan ordered. General Yun Ji-yoon's face appeared on a smaller screen. "Captain Kim, I assume you've seen the broadcast." "Yes, General. We all have. We're calling in all ships. Return to Earth immediately. We need to coordinate our response." "Do we have a response, ma'am?" Taiwan asked. The general's expression was grim. "Working on it. Just get back here. You out." As the screen went dark, Intelligence Officer Sang Ho-lee approached with a datapad. "Captain, our scans of the alien fleet show technology far beyond our own. Their smallest ship could likely destroy our largest without much trouble." Taiwan felt the weight of responsibility pressing down on him. The Dauntless was one of Earth's newest ships, carrying a crew of 300. People with families. People counting on him to bring them home. "Set course for Earth," he ordered. "Maximum speed." As the ship turned, Taiwan walked to the small window at the side of the bridge. He took out the small wooden tiger his grandmother had given him when he joined the Space Force. Her words came back to him. "Remember, Taiwan," she had said in her creaky voice, "humans may not be the strongest or the fastest, but we have survived because we never, ever give up." Jisoo joined him at the window. "My father used to tell stories about the old wars on Earth," she said quietly. "He said sometimes it wasn't the side with the best weapons that won." Taiwan looked at the tiger in his palm. What did win then? The side that was willing to do whatever it took to survive. Her eyes met his. The side that was willing to get their hands dirty when precision wasn't enough. Taiwan closed his fist around the wooden tiger. "Then that's what we'll have to be." As the Dauntless accelerated toward Earth, the HFY broadcast played again across all channels. Their precise, deadly war Pummas slicing through everything in their path. But in Taiwan's mind, a different image was forming. Humans had never been known for precision. But throughout their bloody history, they had proven one thing time and again. When backed into a corner, humans didn't cut. They ripped and tore their way to survival. Dr. Du Yum Kang had not slept in 36 hours. Her lab at the Earth Defense Research Center was filled with holographic projections of the HFY aliens, Every screen showed different angles of the broadcast that had terrified the planet. "Play it again," she told her computer. "Slow down section 4B by 50%. The video played, showing a close-up of a Naxivore soldier using its war Pumma. Du Yin stared at the alien's movements, at the way its body shifted as it swung the precision weapon. "Something's not right," she muttered to herself. She touched a control, and the image zoomed in further. There, the door to her lab slid open. Captain Taiwan Kim walked in, followed by Commander Jisoo Park. "Dr. Kang," Taiwan said. "General Yoon said you found something important." Du Yun nodded. She pushed her glasses up with one finger. "Look at this." She pointed to the screen. "Watch how the Naxivore move when they fight. See how careful they are. How they avoid any contact besides the blade." Jisoo stepped closer. "They're keeping their distance." "Exactly." Du Yun's eyes were bright with excitement. "At first I thought it was just skill. But then I realized it's not skill. It's necessity." She tapped more controls. A new image appeared, a computer model of the Naxivore body structure. Their exoskeletons are incredibly strong against direct cutting force. But look at this. She ran a simulation showing different types of impacts on the alien body. They're much weaker against blunt force, and she paused for effect. "Tearing motions." Taiwan frowned. "Tearing? Like what?" "Like being ripped apart instead of cut cleanly." Du Yin demonstrated with her hands. "Their body structure is designed to resist precise attacks, but messy, unpredictable force. They're vulnerable to that." Jisoo looked at Taiwan, her eyes wide. "Our weapons." "Exactly," said Du Yin. "Most of our advanced weapons were designed to mimic their precision approach. But our older weapons, the ones we thought were outdated," Taiwan said slowly, "might be exactly what we need." Du Yin smiled. Across the city, in a military testing facility, Engineer Hyun-Soo Choi was arguing with his supervisor. "Sir, please, just give me 5 minutes with the general." Colonel Min shook his head. "The Ripper project was shut down months ago, Hyun-Soo. It's too brutal, too unpredictable. That's why we need it now." Hyun-Soo pointed to the prototype in the corner of the lab. The exoskeleton stood 7 feet tall, its metal arms ending in wickedly curved claws. "The Naxivore won't expect this." "They won't expect it because it's barbaric," Colonel Min replied. "We've moved beyond such weapons." Hyun-Soo was about to argue further when the lab door opened. Captain Taiwan Kim entered, flanked by Commander Jisoo Park and Dr. Du Yun Kang. "Actually, Colonel," Taiwan said, "barbaric might be exactly what we need right now." Dr. Du Yun stepped forward. "Mr. Choi, I understand your Ripper prototype uses hydraulic force to enhance strength," and she glanced at the claws. "Tearing capabilities." Hyun-Soo nodded eagerly. "Yes, it increases the user's strength by 500%, and the claws can rip through steel like paper." "And it was rejected because?" Jisoo asked. Colonel Min answered, "Because we've spent the last decade developing precision weapons. The Ripper is a step backward." "No," Taiwan said firmly. "It's a step in a different direction. And right now, different is exactly what we need." He turned to Hyun-Soo. "Show me how it works." Hyun-Soo couldn't keep the smile from his face as he walked to the prototype. "It's simple, really. The user steps inside, and the neural link connects to their movements." He ran his hand over the metal surface. "It becomes like a second skin, but stronger, much stronger." Dr. Du Yun was studying the claws. "Can these be modified? Made sharper, perhaps, with serrated edges?" "Of course," Hyun-Soo said. "I can make them however you want." Taiwan looked at the machine, then at his team. "How quickly can you make more?" Hyun-Soo thought for a moment. "With emergency protocols and full factory support, maybe 148 hours. "You have 36, Taiwan said. Earth's survival depends on it. The war room was packed. Leaders from every branch of Earth's military sat around the large round table. Screens on the walls showed the next 4 ships hovering above major cities. A digital countdown in red numbers showed they had just 30 hours left before the aliens' deadline. General Yun Ji-yoon stood at the head of the table. Her uniform was perfect, but dark circles under her eyes showed she hadn't slept. "Ladies and gentlemen," she said, "we are facing the greatest threat in human history. Our usual weapons will not work against the next war, but thanks to Dr. Kang and Mr. Choi, we may have found a way to fight back." She nodded to Dr. Du Yun, who stepped forward with her datapad. "The Naxivor have evolved for precision," Du Yun explained. She tapped her pad, and a 3D model of a Naxivor appeared over the table. Their bodies are strong against cutting attacks, but weak against tearing and crushing. This is why their war Pummas are designed to cut cleanly. Murmurs filled the room. An Air Force general raised his hand. "So what are you suggesting? We go back to bullets and bombs?" Hyun-soo stood up next. "Better." He pressed a button on his wrist. The door at the back of the room opened. A soldier walked in wearing the Ripper exoskeleton. The machine hummed softly as it moved. Its metal claws gleamed under the lights. The room fell silent. "This is the Ripper," Hyun-soo said proudly. "It makes a human 5 times stronger. The claws can tear through anything, including Naxivor armor." General Yoon nodded. "We are building as many as we can, but we need more than just weapons. We need a plan." Captain Ta-won stood up. "I have one." All eyes turned to him. "The Naxivor expect us to either surrender or fight with our most advanced weapons," he said. "They don't expect us to board their ships." "Board their ships?" someone asked in disbelief. "That's suicide." "Not with the Rippers," Ta-won replied. "And not if we target the right ship." He looked at Intelligence Officer Sang-ho. Sang-ho cleared his throat and stood. "We've identified the Naxivor command ship." He brought up an image of the largest alien vessel. It's positioned directly above Seoul. Our analysis suggests it contains their leadership. "My plan is simple," Ta-won continued. "Just before the deadline expires, I will lead a small team in stealth shuttles. We will board the command ship wearing Ripper units." Commander Ji-soo spoke up. "I volunteer to join the mission." Tai-won shook his head. "Ji-soo, it's too dangerous." She met his eyes. "All due respect, Captain, but I'm the best pilot we have. You need me." Before Tai-won could argue, Sang-ho raised his hand. "I should go too. We'll need someone to hack their systems." Dr. Du Yun stood. "And I must join to provide real-time analysis of their biology." General Yoon looked at the volunteers. "This is likely a one-way mission. You understand that?" They all nodded. "Very well," she said. "Captain Kim will lead the strike team. If you succeed in taking control of their command ship, we may be able to force a surrender." She looked at each of them. "You leave in 24 hours. That gives us just enough time to prepare." As the meeting ended, Ta-won found Ji-soo waiting for him in the hallway. "You didn't have to volunteer," he told her. "Yes, I did," she replied. "We both know this mission needs the best." Ta-won sighed. "The chances of coming back are small." Ji-soo smiled slightly. "Then we better make sure we succeed." She touched his arm. "Get some rest, Captain. Tomorrow, we either save Earth or die trying." As they walked away, neither spoke about what they were really thinking, that humans had always been fighters. That throughout history, when pushed to the edge, humans didn't give up. They got mean. The Naxivor wanted precision and clean surrender. They were about to learn how messy humans could be when fighting for their survival. The underground factory was a storm of activity. Hundreds of workers moved quickly, assembling Ripper units on long production lines. The sound of welding and metal being shaped filled the air. Every few minutes, another completed exoskeleton was taken to the testing area. Hyun-soo walked among the workers, checking each unit. He had not slept in 2 days, but his eyes were alert. This was his creation. It had to be perfect. "How many are ready?" General Yoon asked as she entered the factory floor. 43, Hyun-soo replied. "We'll have 50 by morning." "Good." She looked at the nearest ripper. "The strike team needs the best ones." Hyun-soo nodded. "The first 10 units have extra features, stronger hydraulics, sharper claws. I added serrated edges based on Dr. Kang's suggestions." In another part of the base, Captain Ta-won and his team trained with the Ripper units. The Special Forces soldiers moved awkwardly at first, not used to the extra strength and weight, but they learned quickly. Jisoo moved better than most, already able to run and jump in her suit. She tore through a thick metal plate with her claws, the serrated edges ripping the material like it was paper. "Not bad," Ta-won said, watching her. "It feels strange," she replied. "So much power." She flexed the metal fingers. "But I'm getting used to it." Dr. Du-yeon worked nearby, making adjustments to her portable scanner. "Remember," she called out, "aim for their joints. That's where their armor is weakest." Sang-ho sat with a team of tech specialists, studying HFY communication systems. "Their encryption is complex," he told Ta-won during a break. "But we've made progress. I should be able to access their network once we're on board." As evening came, Ta-won checked his team's progress one last time. Then he left the base. He had one more thing to do before the mission. The small house outside the city was far from the military base. It looked the same as it had when Ta-won was a child. His grandmother's garden was still full of flowers, even with alien ships in the sky. The old woman sat on her porch, watching him walk up the path. Her face was wrinkled, but her eyes were sharp. "So," she said as he sat beside her, "tomorrow you go to fight the aliens." Ta-won wasn't surprised she knew. His grandmother always seemed to know everything. "Yes." She nodded slowly. "You're scared." "Yes," he admitted. "Good." She patted his hand. "Only fools aren't scared before battle." They sat in silence for a while, watching the sunset. Above them, the dark shapes of HFY ships blocked parts of the sky. "I might not come back," Ta-won finally said. His grandmother snorted. "Of course you will." She got up slowly and went inside. When she returned, she held a small wooden box. "This belonged to your grandfather." Ta-won opened the box. Inside was a small figurine of a tiger, carved from dark wood. It looked old and well-loved. "He carried it through war," she said. "It will protect you too." Ta-won closed his hand around the tiger. "Thank you." His grandmother looked up at the alien ships. "These creatures think they know war. They think their fancy weapons make them strong." She shook her head. "They know nothing." "What do you mean?" Ta-won asked. "Humans have fought each other for thousands of years. We know war better than anyone." Her eyes were hard now. "We know that sometimes victory is not about the cleanest cut. Sometimes it is about being willing to tear and rip and claw until you survive." Ta-won put the tiger in his pocket. "I'll remember." As he left, his grandmother called after him. "Show them what humans are really capable of. Show them why Earth is still ours after all this time." Ta-won looked back at the old woman standing in her garden under the shadow of alien ships. He nodded once, then turned away. Tomorrow, the HFY would learn about human warfare, the hard way. The countdown timer showed 3 minutes left. Inside the stealth shuttle, Captain Ta-won checked his Ripper unit one last time. Around him, his team did the same. 20 soldiers in total, each wearing the metal exoskeletons with their deadly claws. "Remember the plan," Ta-won said. "Team 1 secures the engine room. Team 2 takes the bridge. No energy weapons. Use only the Rippers. They won't expect us," Jisoo said from the pilot's seat. "The HFY think we're going to surrender. Or try to shoot them down," added Sang-ho, who was checking his datapad. Dr. Du-yeon looked at her scanner. "My device is working. It should detect any weak points in their biology as we encounter them. The timer reached 0. Across Earth, people looked up at the alien ships, waiting for the end. Instead, a different kind of attack began. Now, Todd 1 ordered. Jisoo pushed the shuttle's controls forward. The small craft shot upward, its stealth systems hiding it from NAX 4 sensors. 2 other shuttles followed, carrying the rest of the strike team. The command ship loomed above them, huge and alien. Jisoo guided their shuttle toward a small opening near the engine section. "They're sending a message to Earth," Sang-ho reported, "demanding our surrender. They don't know we're here." The shuttle slipped inside the NAX 4 ship. It landed softly in what looked like a cargo area. The team moved quickly to the airlock. "Air is breathable," Dr. Du-Yun confirmed. "Gravity slightly stronger than Earth's." Taiwan nodded and opened the outer door. "Move out." The team filed into the alien ship. The corridors were tall and wide, made for the larger NAX 4. The walls glowed with a soft blue light. Everything was clean and precise, like a hospital. "Life signs ahead," Dr. Du-Yun whispered, checking her scanner. 3 NAX 4 approaching. Taiwan signaled his team to hide in side passages. They waited as the aliens came closer. The NAX 4 were tall, nearly 8 feet, with their insect-like bodies covered in what looked like natural armor. They carried war Pummas at their sides. When the aliens passed their position, Taiwan gave the signal. 3 soldiers leaped out, the hydraulics in their Ripper suits making them faster than any human could be naturally. Before the NAX 4 could activate their Pummas, the humans were on them. The first alien tried to draw its weapon. A Ripper's claws tore through its arm, ripping it clean off. The alien made a high-pitched sound of shock. The second NAX 4 managed to activate its Pumma. The blue energy blade sliced toward a soldier, but the human dodged and drove metal claws into the alien's chest, tearing through its armor in a way the NAX 4 had clearly never experienced before. The third alien turned to run. Jisoo leaped forward, her Ripper's claws catching it in the back. She ripped downward, tearing through its exoskeleton. The alien fell without a sound. "They didn't expect that," Sang-ho said quietly, looking at the fallen NAX 4. Dr. Du-Yun scanned the bodies. "Their armor is strong against cutting, but tears easily with enough force." "Just as I thought." "Team 1, continue to the engine room," Taiwan ordered. "Team 2, with me to the bridge." They moved deeper into the ship. Twice more, they encountered NAX 4 patrols. Each time, the aliens seemed confused by the humans' attack style. They tried to use their precise war Pummas, aiming for vital spots. But the Ripper's wild, tearing attacks overwhelmed them. "They don't know how to fight this way," Jisoo realized as they tore through another patrol. "They're used to enemies who fight like they do." "Humans have never been known for precision," Taiwan replied, thinking of his grandmother's words. As they approached the bridge, a larger door blocked their way. Behind it, Sang-ho's scanner showed dozens of NAX 4. "The bridge is just ahead," he said, "but there are many of them waiting." Taiwan looked at his team. Their Ripper suits were spattered with alien fluids. The claws dripped with evidence of their effectiveness. "They think their precision makes them superior," he said. "Let's show them what happens when precision meets raw power." He revved the hydraulics in his suit. The metal muscles tensed, ready to tear through anything in their path. "For Earth," he said simply, and led the charge toward the bridge. The door to the bridge exploded inward. Taiwan's team burst through, their Ripper suits moving with terrible speed. The NAX 4 inside barely had time to react. "Take them," Taiwan shouted. The bridge was large, with control stations arranged in a circle. At least 20 NAX 4 officers turned to face the humans, drawing their war Pummas. The blue energy blades hummed as they activated. The first alien swung at Taiwan, its Pumma aiming for his neck with surgical precision. Taiwan ducked and drove his claws upward, ripping through the alien's chest. The Naxvor's eyes widened in what might have been shock before it fell. All around, the battle was chaos. The Naxvor fought with practiced skill, each movement calculated and precise. But the humans fought like wild animals, tearing and ripping with their metal claws. The Ripper suits gave them strength beyond normal limits, and the aliens had no defense against such brutal attacks. "They're retreating," Jisoo called out. Several Naxvor were backing away, moving toward an inner door. One alien was typing frantically at a control panel. "Stop them," Ta-1 ordered. "Sang-ho, get to that console." Sang-ho rushed forward, but he was too late. The alien pressed a final button, and a thick door slammed down, separating part of the bridge from the rest. "They've locked themselves in the command center," Sang-ho reported. Dr. Du-Yun approached a fallen Naxvor. She waved her scanner over it. "Captain, I'm detecting something interesting." "What is it?" Ta-1 asked, joining her. "The air around these aliens. It's filled with chemicals. Pheromones, I think." She looked at her readings. "They're communicating with smells as well as sounds." "What are they saying?" Jisoo asked. Dr. Du-Yun frowned at her scanner. "It's hard to translate exactly, but I think it's fear. They're afraid of us." "Good," said one of the soldiers. "No, you don't understand." Dr. Du-Yun looked up. "According to these readings, this species has not experienced collective fear for centuries. Their brain chemistry shows they don't know how to process it." Sang-ho had moved to one of the alien consoles. His fingers flew over the strange controls, his eyes on the data scrolling across the screen. "I've accessed their database," he said after a few minutes. "There's so much information here." "Wait." He stared at the screen. "I think I know why they're so afraid." The team gathered around him. "The Naxvor have conquered dozens of planets," Sang-ho explained. "Every species they've encountered developed similar technologies to theirs, all focused on precision and efficiency." "Like their war Pummas," Jisoo said. "Exactly. For centuries, they've only fought enemies who fight like they do." Sang-ho pointed to images on the screen showing alien worlds. None of these species ever developed weapons designed for tearing or ripping. The Naxvor evolved past the need to defend against such primitive attacks. Ta-1 considered this, so they've forgotten how to fight against anything but precision weapons. "Not just forgotten," Dr. Du-Yun said. "Their physical evolution has made them vulnerable to our kind of attack. They sacrificed resistance to tearing forces to gain strength against cutting." A loud bang came from the sealed door. The Naxvor were trying to reinforce it from the other side. "Can you open it?" Ta-1 asked Sang-ho. "Working on it," he replied, typing rapidly. "But there's something else you should see." He brought up another screen. "These are live feeds from Earth. The other Ripper teams are engaging Naxvor forces across the planet." The screen showed humans in Ripper suits tearing through alien soldiers in cities around the world. Everywhere, the story was the same. The Naxvor's precise fighting style was no match for the brutal efficiency of the Rippers. "We're winning," Jisoo said in disbelief. "Not yet," Ta-1 replied. He looked at the sealed door. "Behind that door is their commander. If we can capture or kill their leader, we might end this war today." The door shuttered again. "I've got it," Sang-ho announced, overriding their security now. The heavy door began to slide open, revealing a smaller chamber beyond. Inside stood a single Naxvor, larger than the others. Its exoskeleton was darker, marked with symbols of rank. It held a war Pumma in each hand. "I think," Ta-1 said quietly, "we just found their commander." The Naxvor commander stood nearly 10 feet tall. Its exoskeleton was thicker than the others, with plates that overlapped like armor. 6 eyes glowed with a cold light as it looked at the humans. "You are the first species in 1,000 years to board one of our ships." The translator in Ta-1's helmet rendered its clicking speech. "Impressive, but futile." Ta-1 stepped forward. "Surrender." Your soldiers are being defeated all over Earth. The commander made a sound that might have been laughter. Temporary setbacks. We have conquered worlds for millennia. Your primitive attacks may surprise us, but they will not save you. It raised its war Pummas. The blue energy blade seemed brighter, more intense than the weapons the other HFY carried. Those who lead must be the strongest, the commander said. Let me show you why I command. It moved with shocking speed for its size. One moment it stood across the room. The next it was beside one of HFY's soldiers. The Pummas flashed. The soldier's ripper suit split apart at the joints, cut with impossible precision. The man inside cried out and fell. Spread out, HFY ordered. Surround it. The team moved to encircle the commander. Jisoo attacked from the left, her claws slashing at the alien side. But the commander twisted away with fluid grace, one Pumma slicing toward her head. Jisoo ducked, but not fast enough. The energy blade cut through part of her helmet. She stumbled back, blood running down her face. Jisoo, HFY shouted. I'm okay, she called back, though she was clearly hurt. HFY charged, fury giving him speed. His claws aimed for the commander's chest, but the alien parried with one Pumma while the other slashed at his legs. HFY felt his suit's left leg seize up as the blade cut through important components. Your machines are powerful, the commander said, but crude. My Pummas can find the weaknesses in any design. Dr. Du-Yun's voice came through the comm. Its armor is thickest at the chest and back. Target the joints where the limbs connect. 3 soldiers attacked at once, trying to overwhelm the commander with numbers. The alien fought with incredible skill, its Pummas a blur of blue light. One soldier went down, then another. Sang-ho had returned to the console, his fingers working frantically. I'm trying to access their ship-wide systems, he reported. If I can shut down their internal defenses. The commander noticed what he was doing. It flung one of its Pummas like a spear. The weapon flew straight at Sang-ho's back. Look out, Jisoo cried. She leaped forward, pushing Sang-ho aside. The Pumma struck her instead, the energy blade piercing her ripper suit and into her side. She collapsed, a cry of pain escaping her lips. Jisoo, HFY rushed to her. The wound was bad. Blood poured from where the Pumma had struck. Keep fighting, she whispered, her face pale. Don't stop. Something broke inside HFY. A cold fury filled him as he turned to face the commander. The alien retrieved its thrown Pumma, both weapons now humming in its hands. Your friend fought well, it said. But as I told you, resistance is futile. HFY touched the tiger figurine in the pocket of his suit. Then he pushed his ripper systems beyond their safety limits. Warning lights flashed in his helmet as the hydraulics overloaded, pumping more power than they were designed to handle. You think you know war, HFY said quietly. You know nothing. He charged. The commander's Pummas slashed at him, cutting pieces from his suit. Pain flared as one blade grazed his arm. But he didn't stop. He couldn't stop. The Ripper's claws struck the commander's arm joint, exactly where Dr. Du-Yun had advised. The serrated metal tore through the supposedly impenetrable exoskeleton. Black fluid sprayed from the wound. The commander made a sound of shock. It tried to back away, but HFY followed, his claws ripping and tearing without mercy or precision. How? The commander gasped as HFY's assault drove it to its knees. Your weapons lack precision. How can they be effective? HFY's claws tore into the alien's chest, ripping through the armor that had stopped all previous attackers. Because, he answered, his voice cold, we don't just fight to win. We fight to survive. The HFY commander lay dead at HFY's feet. Black fluid pooled around its torn body. The remaining members of HFY's team stared in shock. No one had ever defeated a HFY commander in combat. Captain, one soldier said, you did it. But HFY wasn't listening. He rushed back to Jisoo, who lay on the floor where she had fallen. Her face was very pale. The wound in her side still bled. "Stay with me," he whispered, holding her hand. Dr. Du Yun knelt beside them, scanning Jisu's injury. "The Pumma cut through several organs. She needs medical attention immediately." "We're on an alien ship," Ta-One said. "We don't have." "Actually," Sang-Ho interrupted, "we might." He was still at the console, reading alien text. "There's a medical bay 2 levels down. If we can get her there." "They must have medical technology," Dr. Du Yun said. "If I can understand how to use it." Tai-One picked Jisu up carefully. "Show me the way." As they prepared to leave the bridge, Sang-Ho called out, "Wait. I have access to their communication systems. We can broadcast to the entire Naxvor fleet." Tai-One stopped. "What are you suggesting?" "We show them their dead commander," Sang-Ho said. "We show them humans winning. It might affect their morale." Dr. Du Yun nodded. "The pheromones suggest they're not used to fear. If we can spread that fear." "Do it," Ta-One ordered. "Then meet us at the medical bay." Sang-Ho quickly set up the ship's cameras to focus on the dead commander. He began broadcasting the image to every Naxvor ship in orbit and on the ground. "Adding audio now," he said, linking his translator to the broadcast. "I'm telling them their commander has fallen to human weapons, that our primitive technology has defeated their best warrior." With that done, Sang-Ho joined the others as they carried Jisu through the alien ship. In orbit around Earth, the Naxvor fleet received the broadcast. Ship after ship saw their supreme commander torn apart by human claws. The effect was immediate. Some ships began to retreat, moving away from Earth. Others became confused, their crews unsure what to do without clear leadership. On the ground, the human Ripper teams pressed their advantage. With the Naxvor soldiers distracted by the shocking news, humans tore through their ranks with renewed vigor. In the Naxvor medical bay, Dr. Du Yun worked frantically. The alien technology was advanced but strange. She had to guess how to use much of it. "This appears to be a tissue regenerator," she said, positioning a device over Jisu's wound. "Similar to our experimental units, but far more powerful." Tai-One held Jisu's hand while Dr. Du Yun worked. "Stay with us, Jisu." "That's an order." Jisu's eyes fluttered open briefly. "Since when?" "Do I follow your orders?" A weak smile touched her lips before she passed out again. Sang-Ho entered the medical bay. "You need to see this." He held up a data pad showing views of Earth. The Naxvor ships were retreating. Human forces were winning battles across the globe. "It's working," he said. "Without their commander, they're losing coordination, and the sight of him being, well, torn apart like that, it's affected them psychologically. Where did they evolve that they never needed to develop defenses against tearing attacks?" Dr. Du Yun wondered as she worked. "What kind of world has only precision predators?" "We can study that later," Ta-One said. "How is she?" Dr. Du Yun stepped back from the medical table. I think it worked. The wound is closing. Her vital signs are stabilizing." Jisu's color was returning. The terrible wound in her side was visibly healing as the alien technology did its work. "She'll live?" Ta-One asked. "Yes," Dr. Du Yun confirmed. "The Naxvor may be arrogant, but their medical technology is incredible." Sang-Ho was still watching the datapad. "General Yun is requesting contact. Should I put her through?" Tai-One nodded. General Yun's face appeared on the screen. She looked tired but triumphant. "Captain Kim," she said, "reports are coming in from around the world. The Naxvor are retreating. Whatever you did on that command ship worked." "We killed their commander," Tai-One said simply, "and showed them what happens when they face humans." "The president wants to speak with you," General Yun said. "You and your team have saved Earth." Tai-One looked at Jisu, now resting peacefully, then at Dr. Du Yun and Sang-Ho, both exhausted but alive. "We all did," he replied. "All of humanity did. We just reminded the Naxvor of something they had forgotten. What's that? Asked the general. That precision isn't everything. Sometimes survival requires something more primal. 6 months had passed since the Naxvor retreat. Earth was still rebuilding, but the scars of the brief war were healing. Captain Tawon Kim, now Admiral Kim, stood at the large window in Earth Defense Headquarters, watching the stars. "Admiral," a young officer called from the doorway. "They're here." Tawon nodded. "Bring them to the meeting room." The Naxvor diplomatic vessel had entered Earth orbit that morning. It came alone and unarmed, carrying representatives who wished to speak with humanity's leaders. After 6 months of silence, the aliens had returned, not to fight, but to talk. In the large meeting room, Earth's military and political leaders gathered. Tawon took his place at the table beside General Yoon. Dr. Du Yan and Sang-ho sat nearby, both now holding important positions in Earth's defense research. The doors opened. 3 Naxvor entered, smaller than the warriors Tawon had fought. These were from the diplomatic caste, their exoskeletons lighter and marked with symbols of peace. "Welcome to Earth," the president said. The lead Naxvor bowed its head slightly. "We thank you for receiving us after our previous misunderstanding." Misunderstanding? General Yoon raised an eyebrow. "You tried to conquer our planet." "Yes." The alien seemed genuinely regretful. "It was a grave error, one made from ignorance and arrogance." The Naxvor representative stepped forward, addressing the room. "For 1,000 years, we have expanded through space. Every species we encountered developed as we did, valuing precision, efficiency, and clean victory. None challenged our understanding of warfare." It turned to look directly at Tawon. "Until humans." Tawon remained silent, waiting. "You showed us something we had forgotten," the alien continued. "That there are many paths to strength. That precision is not the only way to fight. That sometimes the will to survive creates its own kind of power." The Naxvor placed a data crystal on the table. "We come offering alliance and exchange. Technology, knowledge, star maps, all freely given." "Why?" Tawon finally asked. "Why this generosity after trying to destroy us?" The alien's 6 eyes blinked in sequence. "Because you have something we need, something we have lost over centuries of easy victory." "And what is that?" the president asked. "Adaptability," the Naxvor answered simply. "The willingness to do whatever is necessary to survive. The understanding that precision and elegance are not always the answer." The meeting continued for hours. Terms were discussed, agreements made. The Naxvor would help rebuild what they had damaged. Humanity would gain access to advanced technology. Both species would benefit. Later, as the sun set over the rebuilt city, Tawon stood on the observation deck of the defense headquarters. Ji-Soo joined him, walking with only a slight limp from her injury. The Naxvor medical technology had healed her well, but some scars remained. "So we're allies now," she said, leaning against the railing beside him. "With the aliens who tried to kill us all." Tawon nodded. "Strange how things change." "Do you trust them?" she asked. "Not entirely," he admitted. "But I believe they learned their lesson. We showed them something they had never seen before." Ji-Soo smiled. "That humans are scary when cornered." "That different isn't always inferior," Tawon replied. "That sometimes the old ways, the primal ways, are exactly what's needed." He took the wooden tiger figurine from his pocket, the one his grandmother had given him. It had been with him through the entire battle, through the fear and blood and final victory. "My grandmother called me last night," he said. "She asked when I was bringing you to dinner." Ji-Soo laughed. "What did you tell her?" "That we'd come this weekend." He looked at her. "If that's okay with you." "I'd like that," she said softly. Below them, the city lights began to come on as darkness fell. Above, the stars shone. Somewhere up there, the Naxvor were spreading word of the humans. The strange species whose weapons ripped and tore instead of cutting with precision. The species that had done what no other could, stopped the HFY expansion. What happens now? Jisoo asked, looking up at the stars. Taiwan put the tiger back in his pocket and took her hand. Now we rebuild. We learn. We prepare. For the next war. For the next challenge, he corrected, whatever it may be. The HFY had taught humanity that there were other civilizations among the stars. Earth had taught the HFY that precision wasn't everything. Both species had learned something valuable. Both had grown stronger. And that Taiwan thought, as he looked at the stars with Jisoo's hand in his, was how survival really worked.